Welcome in, everybody. It's week 3 on that SEC Powers Hour. Friends, in the green room, right before we go live, right before you see these mugs, all I hear in my ear is, damn it, Kentucky.
Oh, come on, Vandy Griff. Come on, man.
Are you feeling good, man? Are you doing all right? It's Thursday. Friday's tomorrow. How are you?
I'm doing good, all except I got to cuss Kentucky and I got to cuss Auburn. Of course, That's not unusual, but I got to cuss Auburn. And for another entirely different reason, I got to say, damn it, Missouri, too. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I don't ever mind any Auburn slander.
Auburn.
But we do have to start this show off the right way. I looked over in the chat and I see that our man Tim Jones has joined the channel as a member. Welcome in, Tim, longtime supporter of the channel. Thank you, brother, for being here with us. I want to make sure that you get all the applause you need for supporting the channel. Those memberships are easy, free, and we just appreciate you guys taking that extra step to step up here and support what we do on the channel. We're having a good time tonight. I saw our buddies Herb and Raj in here for just a minute. I know they sometimes dip in and out on Thursdays, Herb especially, so it's good to see them in here. Noah and Tim are in here, and it's me and you, Joe, talking week three of the SEC. So I'm
sure Herb and Raj are dipping, especially after that performance that Alabama turned in this week. Now back on your case, Herb and Raj. Alabama who? Alabama what? Roll who? Yeah, that's right.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Right here off the top. It's all good. We're bringing the juice tonight. That's what we're telling you.
My man Timothy Jones, though, way to step up. Way to do it, bro. Way to do it.
That's right. Hey, Carol's in here too. What's up? Welcome in, Carol. Another wonderful supporter of the channel. Tonight's a fun show. If you're interested, if you're having a late dinner, pull the plate on up here, dial us up, turn the volume up, enjoy. Find your favorite drink, tip one over. We're going to be sipping on a little something here while we do this thing too. So we're just glad y'all are in here with us. And I love to start this show a certain way because everybody knows that we're chasing some trophies. See this one back here? We're chasing this trophy. There's Tennille in the house.
What's up,
everybody,
Tennille?
Welcome in. Tonight we are off to a banging start. All right, so we're chasing the trophy back there and the big silver. So I got to show you the results. See, there it is. See the color coded and everything. See, it is right there. See, that's it. You saw a lot of red when I flashed it on the screen right there.
There's some red.
Yeah, last week's standings. Week 2, we're not doing the adding it up yet. We're just going week by week. So right now, last week, your boy went 14-4. Joe, I got to say, you didn't go 14-4, man. You went.
Yeah.
Joe checks in at 12-6. That's okay, but he did take some chances. But as he pointed out in the green room, which elicited that.
Damn it, Kentucky!
Damn it, Kentucky! Here we go. We're separate. We're getting a little separation there, a little bit of a separation there. So we'll monitor that over the course of the year. So that's always a good time, always a good thing. Joe, do you have any just random thoughts about the SEC here before we actually get into the independent games? You got anything you want to get off your chest?
Well, I think you've already kind of heard me talk about Kentucky. And Auburn. Come on, Auburn. Come on. It's UCLA, Auburn.
No, California.
California. I'm sorry, Cal, the Bears.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Cal traveling into Auburn, and you're going to give it up in the But more importantly, let me talk about Mizzou.
Okay.
Let me talk about all right, Mizzou. Listen, El Tigre, or whatever, however you say that.
Tigre.
So you won a game. All right. Golf clap. Okay. Let's not get our pants too high. Talking about, we waiting on Georgia in the ACL. Come on. You can't. All right, Mizzou.
It's good. It's good.
Down, Mizzou.
I know. It's good because what's crazy is you look at the schedule. They looked at the schedule and they're like, Georgia, no Georgia. Okay, fine. We're gonna do some of this because we don't face them dogs this year in the regular season. I'm with you, man. listen, the jury's still out on Missouri. They ain't played nobody. They haven't played anybody yet. So be happy. Be happy. But I saw people today on the Twitters talking. They were posting videos of, it was a good angle, by the way, but they were posting videos of a touchdown pass from the Cotton Bowl last year where they beat Ohio State. Good on you for beating those Buckeyes. But they posted the video and then they went on to say, essentially, yeah, Georgia, we're waiting on you. If you're lucky, you'll see us in Atlanta. You know what I mean? I'm like, A, that was last year. That has nothing to do with this year. And B, you haven't played nobody. So I understand your schedule's kind of half-hearted this year, but come on now. Come on, Missouri.
Come on, man. I mean, that's just little big britches right there.
I know. All right. Well,
how about my boy Carson Beck, though? I told y'all, first game, 3 Bills. Last week, how many touchdowns did he throw last week?
5.
I got 5 on it. That would be 1, 2, 3.
All right.
4.
All right, Big Pimpin'.
5. All right, Mizzou.
Calm down. There's a lot of big games that are coming down the road. There's one in a couple weeks. You know, Georgia's got a big one in a couple weeks. Our Alabama friends are going to be, looking at that one too.
Okay, sorry, Herb and Rod.
But everybody's got business to tend to before we get there. When I was looking down the schedule this week at the games, I'm like, which game is the game? Like, what's our marquee game for the week, right? And I'm like, what do I want to pick? And there were a couple. I mean, before the season started, I would have said Georgia, Kentucky. ABC put Georgia, Kentucky primetime on Saturday, 7:30, right? I mean, they're going to have a national audience. So, but when I looked at the schedule, I'm like, all right, there's a couple here we could choose. And I wound up going with one. I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. But before we get there, I picked a game that is interesting. There's a lot of reasons to be interested in it. So we'll take a look at that one. But before we do that, I have to take a second and just say thanks to the good folks at Bastion for helping me be here tonight. Remember, if you want to take advantage of all the goodies that they have to offer, use the link in the description below. Hit them up with this discount code when you get to the checkout box, and you'll get that 20% off on some sweetness. I'm just letting you know. Your boy Joe over there, he's got his hands on some new Bastion gear. So he's that first person. He can tell you all about it. It's not just me. I'm just saying. So
I think I sent you a clip of that, man. You should have laid that in here for us. You know what I'm saying?
I should have. That bad producer.
Good pen, though. I like it a whole lot. Pick mine up. It's swank. I'm trying. I don't know why it's so hard for me to understand that I need to point that way to get the code. Y'all need to check that out. And Carol, I see what you did in the chat there. That's mighty clever. But use your code, Carol. Get a pen.
Let's throw that on the screen here. There it is, right there. They just need to check out because they're going to be blue after the game. I see the wordplay there. I appreciate that. That's good stuff.
You could write that down with a Bastion pen. It'd be great.
That's good stuff right there. That is some good stuff. Joe, like I said, I look across the schedule and I'm like, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? Here's what I decided to go with. South Carolina coming off of what was an unexpected, tail kicking of the Kentucky Wildcats last Saturday on the road to open SEC play. Now they're on the road again, heading down to LSU in what suddenly has become a very interesting game based off of what we have seen from LSU so far this year.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have to pick it right now, but now that you know what the game of the week is as far as intrigue for me, the one I thought that might be the most interesting, any initial thoughts, any surface level thoughts when you check on Lenora Sellers and Shane Beamer and heading down there to play Brian Kelly in year 3 on the Bayou?
Look, year 3, Brian Kelly on the Bayou should be an opportunity for this to get a scratch win, easy win at home against a South Carolina team that, who are you, South Carolina? I don't think anybody knows, right? But I really just frankly have no idea what's going to happen because it's in the bayou, it's at night, and why not just make it chaos? Why not? I have no idea. I'm going to call up my boy Chris Blair, the voice of the
Name
Tigers
dropper.
there, name dropper. Yeah, I'm going to call up my boy Chris Blair, and be like, Chris, I need to know what's going on with your Tigers. So hopefully, I should have a little bit of insight before we get to the game, and maybe I can share that with you. But I hadn't been able to catch up with him as of yet. But I
Okay.
honestly, Randy, I mean, I would imagine that LSU goes in there and, it all lines up so that they should come away with a win. But I just don't know. I mean, I'm at a point right now so that if I had to make a pick, I would flip a coin. Where's my coins? I had them last year. I don't have any on my desk. But I would flip a coin. I don't know. I'm just like a crapshoot at this point.
Well, I mean, Brian Kelly, they got right last week against Nicholls State, but for the first 2 quarters, that game was like real close. And you're like, what are y'all doing? Can you not run the ball? I mean, I know and here's the thing. They had their defensive issues. After week 1, Brian Kelly was like, we're sitting here, and remember, he pounded the table at the press conference with his fist. He was all angry, and he's like, we had the same problems that we had last year. He was all pissed off, turning all red. And then later that week, we got news that their running back tore his ACL, done for the year. Now they can't run the football. Somehow or another, they figured out how to beat poor little old Nicholls State last week. But Nussmeier against USC in week 1, he's accurate. They want to throw it all over the yard, but if you can't run the ball and you're one-dimensional and you play somebody with better athletes, that doesn't usually go well if you're one-dimensional. So they are at home. They have that going for them. But I got to tell you, man, right now, I'm just not sure what to make exactly.
Yeah. Well, let me ask
LSU.
you this. I know we don't bet on the spread. That's
Right.
not one of the things we do. But do you? What is the spread in this game? Do you know?
Yeah, it is just a 7-point spread. The LSU's a favorite at home, 7-point spread. Over/under's under 50. So, they don't apparently think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this thing. So, this is
what's up, Star Wars dog? Hey, well, I'll tell you right now, I'd definitely take the under if I were betting. And with a 7-point, 7 points isn't enough for me to say no to South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I think the odds makers kind of see it the same way we do, Randy. That's why I was asking what the line is. But at 7's not enough for me to say no. That's for sure. I would take the under. I don't know. It's a coin toss. A coin toss. What the hell did I just say?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We still got people joining the show. Star Wars Dog said hello. What's up? He's in there. So he's in here with us along with Carol. We've had her on the screen. Tanil, Tim, they're in here. Dr. Gonzo making his appearance back in here tonight. That's awesome. Happy to see you. Appreciate y'all hitting that like button. Share the feed. Let them know we're partying over here. Everybody's having a good time tonight. So we got that going for us, and we're picking some SEC games. I don't really see a reason, Joe, to mess around. Let's go ahead and get into it. What do you say?
Sure, why not?
Well, sure. Why not? What are we doing? Nothing? Okay. What were you doing? Nothing. All right. So here we go. Let's get this going. Herb, we'll get this one out of the way early, brother. I know you're in here. You're at least keeping an half eyeball on it. We're going to go ahead and start with Alabama and Wisconsin. Now, I know, Josie, now I told them this week, I'm not a huge SEC rah-rah guy. Like, I'm kind of torn because I never want us to lose when we play outside the conference, but I'm not over here like SEC all the time either. But I sure don't want them to lose. You know what I mean? So here I am looking at Alabama and Wisconsin. I watched you, Alabama, go into the fourth quarter 14-13 against USF with a quarterback that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Your D-line was getting run on. Your secondary looked soft. And you got one running back. Well, you got more than one, but one that actually did something on Saturday. His name was your quarterback, Jalen Milroe. You got to straighten yourself out, Alabama. You got to straighten yourself out. You're on the road playing Wisconsin. I don't know, Joe. I'll give you my pick in a minute. Who are you going with, Alabama or Wisconsin?
I'm going to write it down so that Herb and Raj can take a picture I am going with the W, baby. I am going with Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
The Badgers. The Badgers.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I'm giving it Cheesehead. Give it Wisconsin. I don't know, but I'm going with the Badgers.
See, I hope you enjoyed that, Joe. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
because I got to go the other way. I got to go with Alabama. And it's pretty simple. As I mentioned their run game and all that kind of stuff. So far, Wisconsin hasn't shown me that they're very good against the run. But, but I'm going to trust that big old offensive line they got are going to lean on the Wisconsin people just a little bit and make some room. They're going to have a good job, do a good job running the ball. I think Alabama goes on the road. They play enough defense to win, and they come back 3-0 with a week off to get ready for them dogs in a couple. So
is this still like a gang sign, or is this what Wisconsin does?
No, it's gang sign. What you had was more accurate. I think something like that's good for Wisconsin. But there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. See, the O-line sucks. Wait, you talking about Georgia? I'm sorry, Alabama. Star Wars dog, because they had their issues. But remember, Caden Proctor has been hurt for Alabama. He didn't play this last Saturday. He didn't play in week 1. They think he's going to play. Well, he's going to play this week against Wisconsin. So they expect that offensive line unit is going to be better for Alabama. That one guy is going to make all the difference. That one guy is going to clean up all of the undisciplined mental errors that Alabama has shown. I understand it's a bit of a leap because this Alabama team so far to me looks undisciplined. And that's a bigger problem than the others, other than me thinking they're a little soft, other than me thinking they're finding their way. I'm concerned about how undisciplined they looked. So
I wish I had a pair. I wish I had a pair of white and red overalls right now is what I wish I had. That's how much I'm on Wisconsin.
Star Wars has it right here, and Dr. Gonzo agrees with me, right? He's like, listen, this Alabama team, if you are an Alabama fan and you're sitting in there and you're trying to look at it with a rosy point of view. But I listen to a lot of Alabama stuff every week, not just our buddies Herb and Raj. I listen to some other stuff, and the Alabama fan base is already feisty. They are already like looking around for pitchforks. They're like, Joe, there were cutaways of Nick Saban on the sideline last week. Milroe breaks free, 50-yard touchdown or whatever. And then you see it's called back on a penalty. And then you see Saban over there on the sideline, just like, and the Alabama people are like, why isn't DeBoer like in somebody's face? Like, why isn't he all pissed off and angry, jerking a knot in somebody's tail? It's a different coaching style. Okay. But you better tighten it up because I understand you got a guy in for another guy who's injured and all that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you, they just don't look like we're used to Alabama looking right now. And I'm not throwing shade. These are facts. Everybody can see it. They look undisciplined. They don't look as tough defensively. Like, and I don't mean tough in like good. I mean tough in like, I'm about to wreck your stuff. Like, I'm going to blow up. I'm going to deconstruct your blocks. They don't look like they're about it. And so I just think you couple that with mental errors and things like, and the coaches leading the way. Show up, Alabama. That's all that's what I'm asking you to do. Show up and get this done.
Neil, let me tell you, my friend, Wisconsin by 10. Wisconsin by 10. I'm saying it right now. Put it in the chat. Go ahead, Neil. Wisconsin by 10.
Yeah, and see, here we go. Dr. Gonzo, he's got it right. If he can't bail them out, right? If he doesn't just go hero ball and make some plays, they're hurting right now. They're hurting. So, Star Wars, I can just answer this for you. It won't take 2 seconds. I use Ecamm as my streaming platform. I love it. I love what it does for me, the options it gives me. There's actually a link in the description below. Click that link and you can learn more about Ecamm. It only works on Mac though. So if you don't have a Mac, then that's probably not the way to go for you if you're interested. Okay, so yeah, I'm just saying show up, Alabama. That's what I'm saying. I'm not asking a lot. I'm saying show up, show up and play, you know, SEC ball, lean on these boys a little bit and come home with a W. All right. So we're going to hold off on picking LSU and South Carolina. We'll pick that one at the end just because it's the game of the week. We'll come back to it. So Boston College, Joe, they went down to Doak Campbell, punched Florida State in the face, ran through them for 4 quarters, embarrassed them, and pulled the biggest, like, in your face you can pull. They were down inside the 5-yard line. They said, nah, we're good. We're going to take a knee right here. We could beat you by 3 more touchdowns if we wanted to, but you know what? That's fine. We're just going to take a knee because we whipped you. We took your soul. We took your being. We come into your house, showed you to be the frauds and the mercenaries that you are. We're going to take our W, get back on a plane, and fly back up to New England. This is the same Boston College team now that's going to roll in to Columbia West, to your Missouri Tigers, the number 6 ranked Missouri Tigers. I don't know. What do you think?
I do. I know right now.
Okay.
Boston College is fitting to give them one of these. That's what Boston College is fitting to do to Missouri, because Missouri has done got up here. They talking all up in the stratosphere. They ain't really paying attention. And BC's fixing to come in there and be like, going to get you. They finna pimp slap them. I'm telling you.
You think so?
I know so. Write it down. Write it down. Get your Bastion pen. Write it down.
You tried to let them know.
I tried to let them know. Get your Bastion pen. Write it down. I tried to tell them, you're being too loud. Goodness. You're being too loud.
Say less. Say less.
Where's my Taylor Swift fans at? Try to calm down. You're being too loud. And now BC's going to show you. Get your Bastion pen. Write it down.
Oh, my God. Oh, Star Wars don't agree. Star Wars don't agree. He's
Star
going
Wars,
MIC.
get out of the sky, bro. Get out of the sky. Come on back down. Come on down. BC going to get him.
See, I want to believe that MIZ is out over their skis. I want to believe that little quarterback that looks like Kyler Murray for BC running around back there making plays, making you right when the play goes wrong. I want to believe that they're going to go on the road and do some things here. And remember, he's from Georgia. That's a Georgia kid. That's a Georgia kid. Now, but this is a pick'em show. I think that Boston College is going to go in. What time's this game? 12:45. So a little sneaky, a little sleepy. I think they're going to go in to Columbia, Missouri, and I think they're going to give Missouri a challenge. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the talent that I've seen from Missouri. I think Missouri's going to get the home win. This spread is Missouri by 16, Joe. By 16. I think what we saw against Florida State was more of an indictment on Florida State than it is, I'm not saying BC's not a good team. I just don't think that in year one under Bill O'Brien, they're going to be able to do what you think they're going to be able to do against Missouri.
No, I absolutely think they're going to be able to do it. And I think Bill O'Brien has already told them, he's like, y'all be quiet. We are the sleeper. We are a sleeper, and they're going to come in there. They're going to get it done. They are going to hold. It's going to be a low-scoring game. They're going to hold Missouri, and they're going to win. It's going to be maybe like a 16-10 ball game, 20-17, something like that. But they're going to come out with the win, and you're going to see BC. They're going to be walking off like this. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Missouri, they're not focused. They're not paying attention. BC's going to walk in there and get the win.
If it goes down that way, that would be a huge win for the ACC, because the ACC is a conference right now, not looking great, and to go in and knock off a top 10 SEC squad on the road, that would be like gargantuan. So y'all heard it. Joe's on the wire here.
Everybody's been talking about Clemson and Florida State, and all this stuff here in the ACC. Nobody's been paying attention to BC.
But why would you? Why would you, man? They're rebuilding from scratch, though.
But they should have known. You should have seen from last year. They've been building. They've been doing their thing. They're going to come in there and be like, shh. I'm telling you.
All right. Hey, that's why we do these shows, to get it on record. So now it's on the record. We're getting some separation over here. Let's move this thing along. Now, this one, when I saw this game was on the schedule this week, I'm like, uh-oh, Joe's about to just jump both feet straight off the boat with this one. He's going to do something stupid with this pick. So Tulane is on the road at Oklahoma. Now, spread's 13. OU's at home, 13-point favorite. Over-under is 46.5. Low over-under here for this thing. I kind of like Oklahoma's defense. I got zero faith in their offense. None. Zero faith. I don't care who the quarterback is.
Oh,
Tulane is 1-1, but they've shown me they can score. Now, this is Oklahoma's defense that they're going against, so I've got to be reserved a little bit here. I honestly don't know. I'm going to buy some time. I'm going to throw it to you, let you pick it first, and then I'm going to come back and pick. Because this one's tough. This one's tough because I can argue it either way inside my head right now.
Yeah. Well, here's what I absolutely think is going to happen. I absolutely think the OU is going to go home. It's the SEC environment, right? They're going to be like SEC. They're excited to play. What time is this game? 3:30, ESPN. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be fired up for that game. And I think that that's going to matter for OU, okay? I do. Okay. I think it's going to matter for them. They're going to feed off that energy, play at home. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a low-scoring affair, so I think the bookies are kind of right in that line. But I'm not entirely sold that OU gets the win. As a matter of fact, I'm not sold at all that they get the win. I will indeed take Tulane against OU at home.
All right. So you helped me make my decision because I was like 99.8% about to tell you I'm going to take Tulane in the upset. You took Tulane. So to create some separation in this thing we got going on, I'm going to take OU and say, okay, defense, do something, right? Like poke them with a stick, hold us in the game, get a turnover, something like that. Because I don't think the offense is going to be the reason Oklahoma wins. I think if Oklahoma wins, defense gets a turnover, something like that, short field, maybe takes it to the house, something, you know. So give me Oklahoma just for the sake of the pick 'em. This is, you know, I'm not like stumping for Oklahoma here because I was going to pick Tulane. This seems like a game that Tulane shows up and beats Oklahoma by like, I don't know, 7, maybe 5, 7 points, something like that. So, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma just for the sake of the pick 'em, just to be different because I love our viewers. I enjoy you. So here we go. All right. So now back to a more traditional game, Texas A&M and Florida. Now, a couple years ago, people would have looked at this game and said, man, that's a marquee matchup inside the SEC. This week, I don't think people are saying this is a marquee matchup inside the SEC. This is like, man, I got to watch this game. This is what's on my TV this week. Because Florida did beat Samford, with an M, Samford, last week, and they won big with DJ Lagway under center, the 5-star plus recruit at quarterback. Graham Mertz, I'm not even certain. I didn't check if Graham Mertz is back this week, if he's going to start because he's
I don't think it matters.
Back from his concussion, whatever. Yeah. If they're going to split time, I don't know what they're doing. Texas A&M had that rough start against Notre Dame, got a win last week. So do we really know anything about Texas A&M just yet? Is Connor Wegman as bad as he looked in week 1? Was he actually sick? I don't know. Regardless, I think I still have to take Texas A&M on the road against Florida, knowing full well that Florida could win the game. They could actually win the game, and they could put a final torpedo in my selection of Texas A&M as my overachiever of the year. They could just blow that up this week, but I'm going to stick with the Aggies on the road against the Gators.
I mean, you should have known without even saying a word. I'm going with the Aggies. My boys, you know, I'm taking Texas A&M.
Name dropper.
Andrew Monaco and me, we like that. Taking my boys. Andrew, I know you watch the show. Can you? When am I coming out there, man? You got to bring me out there.
Hook me up, dog.
Hook me up.
All right. So not as much discussion as maybe I had thought we were going to have right there. That's okay. That's all right.
Picking Florida.
Yeah, I know. This household, I'm not picking Florida either. Texas A&M. Texas A&M. All right, so UAB on the road, the Fighting Dilfers, the Fighting Trent Dilfers on the road, taking on my boy Colbeer, Sam Pittman out there in Arkansas. My heart breaks for Arkansas. I mean, honestly, what are we doing, Arkansas? Because they had Oklahoma State beat 6 ways from Sunday. And then they proceeded to turn the ball over and then turn the ball over and then turn the ball over and let Oklahoma State tie the game, send it to overtime, they just gave it away. Just gave it away. And if they win that game, it is a huge win for Arkansas. And the conference, by the way, over a Big 12 team, like one of the favorites in the Big 12, just gave it away. So now I'm torn because Arkansas has shown me that they have a pulse offensively, but it's just like sort of what we were saying about Alabama earlier. Arkansas was so undisciplined. Penalties, stupid personal foul penalties, turnovers, everything that coaching choices by Pittman, everything that they needed to do to win that game, they did the opposite down the stretch and let Oklahoma. I mean, it was mind boggling. And so I want to believe in Arkansas, but I just saw them piss the bed last week and just give it away. So I don't know. I still have to take Arkansas. I'm all about some UAB. I want them to do well over there. It has nothing to do with Dilfer. I just want them to do well. They got a cool mascot, but I got to pick Arkansas.
Well, are you going to trust me or your lying eyes?
I know.
That's all I'm going to ask you. Are you going to trust me or your lying eyes? I'm going UAB, baby. UAB.
Okay. Well, separation. That's what we're talking about. We're definitely going to have some crooked numbers on the score sheet next week. That's for sure. The way we're picking these games. All right. So I'm on Arkansas. You got the Dragons. Is it Blazers?
Right.
Blazers. That's what they are. Blazers. Right. Okay. Now, this game, we're going to throw it over to the CW network, Joe. I didn't even know that thing was still in existence.
Still around, man.
This game is going to be on the CW at 6:30. Ole Miss, top 5, Ole Miss on the road, taking on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. I'm not even going to lie. I have not looked at one piece of information about Wake Forest. I have not seen one piece of video about Wake Forest this year. Ole Miss is going to win the game. They were probably going to name their number. The spread's over 20 here. I'm just going with Ole Miss. We're good.
Move along. Along.
You're on Ole Miss. Okay, there it is. I got to say it for the record.
Ole
okay.
Miss.
Now, UTSA, Texas, San Antonio, going into Austin to play the Longhorns, right? Roadrunners taking on the Longhorns in Austin. They're playing this thing 7 p.m. out there in Texas because it's hot as blazes. It's going to be 90 degrees when they kick the thing off. Whatever, them Texas boys are fine. Give me Texas. No letdown, no hiccups. The Texas is going to win the game, and they're going to improve to 3-0.
I love the Roadrunners. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
But, yeah, go Texas.
All right, there we go. Texas gets the win. Now, this one's going to have some discussion in the room. Vanderbilt and their new quarterback, the Fighting Pavias, are on the road with a chance to go to 3-0 against Del McGee, former Georgia Bulldogs running back coach, and the Georgia State Panthers in Atlanta. Joe, Vandy's got to come on the road to play Georgia State. You smelling anything funny here? You smelling anything funny here, or are you believing in Anchor Down?
Anchor Down. Vandy. You want me to go with Anchor Down Vandy? Wow.
I'm just saying, man. What, you got something more important to do? You got something more important going on over there?
Hello.
My man, Dave Cohen. How are you, brother?
What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Hey, this is entirely impromptu, Dave Cohen. I am on my live SEC Pick'em show, and we are picking the Vanderbilt-Georgia State game with my brother here. And we are streaming on all of your major platforms and on our YouTube channel. And in front of our live audience, I have the voice of the Georgia State Panthers, Mr. Dave Cohen, here. And I'm phoning a friend, Dave. Phoning a friend. Okay? We've got you and Vandy here. I'm all about my boys in blue and McGee getting the win here against Vandy in the SEC. Tell me why. Help me prove myself here. What do you think?
Well, it's a historic game. It's the first game that Georgia State will host a Southeastern Conference team in not only program history, but in Center Parc Credit Union Stadium. I'm looking forward to this game, although Vanderbilt, this is not your daddy's Vanderbilt. As you know, they're 2-0. Impressive win in overtime over Virginia Tech in week 1, and a pounding of Alcorn State with 55 points up on the board last Saturday in Nashville. So this team, obviously led by quarterback Diego Pavia, can score some points. As I said, this is not your daddy's or your uncle's Vanderbilt. Even talking to Coach McGee on the pregame show that we recorded for this week's broadcast, out of all the SEC teams, from a percentage standpoint, based on where they were and where they are, Vanderbilt may be the most improved team based on NIL and the transfer portal. Because, they get the same payout that Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee and Auburn and Tennessee, they all get. Florida, I meant to say. But, they've got a fantastic quarterback that can hurt you with their legs, with his legs, hurt you with his arm, obviously, slinging the football around the field. And, for them, it is a road game. It's an FBS road game. Georgia State coming off a 24-21 win over UT Chattanooga. And, prior to the season, I got the question quite a bit. Well, Del McGee's first season, how are the Panthers going to be? And I told him my answer was pretty much the same at the time. And it was, I don't really know. Because, for example, when we were in New Orleans at Sun Belt Conference Media Day back in late July, at that time, the address that Coach McGee gave to the media there in New Orleans, at that time we had 48 new faces on the roster. I think that number is topped 50. And the reason I said I don't really know was because at the time we had basically competition at just about every position. There were a few players that were back from the Sean Elliott team year prior that, I kind of said to myself, well, even if this kid doesn't start, he's going to play quality minutes.
Right.
But starting from the quarterback on down, Zach Gibson had transferred from Georgia Tech to Georgia State while Sean Elliott was still the head coach. The new coaches brought in Christian Veillere, who has played in the past at Pitt and at Penn State. He, at least for the first 2 games, has been our starting quarterback. 6'5". He's got a completion rate of 63 point whatever percent in the first 2 ball games. Got quality receivers. They brought in 2 impact receivers, and Ted Hurst and P.D. Tucker. Talik Williams came back out of the transfer portal, so he's got plenty of targets with which to throw the football. It would be a great win for Georgia State, to say the least. Not only because it's a home game, but it's an SEC team. We've only beaten an SEC team once. That was the win at Tennessee in 2019. But this is, I don't want to say a completely new Georgia State football team, but it's a pretty new Georgia State football team. And I think a lot of coaches now dealing with transfer portal, kids coming in, kids going out. I think not just in the case of Georgia State, but a lot of coaches, it's going to take a couple of 3 weeks for the dust to settle and to know really what they've got and to build what I call that football chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same as basketball chemistry, but it's football chemistry, most notably between your quarterbacks and your receivers. I mean, these guys had never played together.
And the O-line.
And all of a sudden, we're playing Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago and Chattanooga this past week, and now Vanderbilt. So hopefully the chemistry is better this week. I know they've had a good week of practice. We'll see if the expected rainy weather plays into this at all. And I'm just looking forward to it. It would be a great win. I'm hoping Georgia State comes out, it plays well from the get-go. and gives Vanderbilt a good run for their money and gets out of the stadium with a win on Saturday night.
I hear you, brother. I think my brother has a question for you here. I'll relay it for you. What's your question, Randy?
Yeah. Well, first say thank you so much for the detailed breakdown on Georgia State, because I appreciate that. I really didn't know that they had turned the roster over. So thanks for the breakdown. But more than that, two questions. We're not going to ask him to pick the game, obviously, because he's calling it. So the question I do have, though, is being here in the state of Georgia, has he heard any rumors or anything like that at all about Georgia State potentially ending up on Georgia's schedule somewhere down the road, rather than Georgia playing, say, an FCS school? Maybe they can start to play these Division I schools and get them, over in Athens in a few years.
So first off, again, Dave, we just want to say from my brother and myself here on the show, thank you so much for that detailed breakdown of Georgia State. It's great to hear that insight, and we really appreciate it. We want to ask you to call, to pick the game since you're calling it, obviously, but we do want to say thanks for the breakdown. And is there anything that you know or may have heard about the potential of Georgia being able to play Georgia State down the road versus playing some of these other FBS schools? Can we bring it in state? Have you heard anything about that? Or
I have not heard anything about that as of yet. As you know, a lot of college football schedules are built out years in advance. Georgia Tech is on the schedule again in 2026, and we will return the game to Vanderbilt in 2026 up in Nashville. You could put 2 and 2 together and say that Del McGee spent the last 8 seasons on Kirby Smart's staff over at Georgia. Have they talked about scheduling an in-state Georgia State game? I don't know, and I have not asked. But
sure.
Now that Georgia Tech is on the schedule, it's quite possible with the Kirby Smart Del McGee connection.
Yeah.
That something could get on the books. But again, the risk in that is that, as I said, schedules are made years and years in advance. You could schedule, let's just say, for example, Georgia State and Georgia in 2030. There's no guarantee that Kirby Smart is going to be in Georgia. There's no guarantee that Del McGee will still be at Georgia State.
Right.
Del McGee could be coaching as a head coach in the SEC by that point.
Right. Good points. Good points. But we just wanted to. Hey, Dave, I hope maybe I can get up there Saturday and join you guys. Hopefully I can. Save me a seat, would you? I'll let you know if I can get up there. But I also want to let you guys know.
You've always got a seat at Center Park Credit Union Stadium.
Hey, I appreciate that. And of course, guys, y'all can hear Georgia State football right here on WRBJRadio.com. We appreciate them being a affiliate, letting us be affiliate of Georgia State. So, Dave, I'm gonna let you go, brother. Thanks for letting me phone a friend. I appreciate the insight. Dave Cohen there, the voice of Georgia State. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Man, that was cool. See, I keep giving Joe a hard time about his name dropper thing, but you don't live in a media world for a quarter century without getting to meet some people and making some friends along the way. And that was pretty cool, Joe. Hey, I had no idea that was going to happen.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if y'all don't know Dave Cohen there, tune in, give him a listen sometime. He is one of the top broadcast names in and around the Atlanta area. Has been there forever. He's a grade A broadcast guy, knows his stuff, and just a heck of a person. So y'all should give him a listen, give him a shout sometime.
So before we have to interrupt this broadcast, Joe, we have to interrupt this broadcast and put this on the screen right here. Herb's checking in. Did Joe pick Wisconsin yet? Herb,
hey,
he did.
Herb, here you go. The dub, baby. Wisconsin. If I had a cheese head, I'd put it on. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. I hope you see that, Herb. If you can't hear us, I hope you can see what's on the screen, man. All right, so let's pick this thing real quick, Joe.
Yeah.
The Fighting Pavias, Vanderbilt on the road to Georgia State. I love the breakdown. I'm all about some Del McGee. I hope they play the Dogs down the line. I think that just makes sense. But this week, give me Vandy anchored down 3-0. Vanderbilt goes on the road and gets the win.
I'm going with my boy Dave Cohen. I'm going to pick State.
Fair enough. I don't need to know
love the
your
blue
reason.
unis. Love the blue unis, by the way.
They can be electric depending on how they pair it up. Yeah. All right, Joe, talk about my dogs for a minute. Now, coming into the game, y'all heard me talk a whole bunch about Kentucky's defense and what I think they can be, and if they get anything on offense, it'll be good. And man, then they let South Carolina roll in there after escaping Old Dominion and hammer them literally in every facet of the football game at home last week. Is this a broken Kentucky team, or was it a snowball effect? Things got out of hand, and it will be a different squad that shows up against Georgia on Saturday at 7:30. I said it last night on my podcast, that as much as I would like to think that Kentucky is going to right the ship, it's hard for me to see it, man. When you're busting the way they busted last week, I listened to their coaches talk this week about getting ready for the game. I can't do it. Give me the dogs. The spread is 23.5. I think Georgia, I understand it's going to be raining. I understand it's always hard to play in Kentucky, but I won't be surprised at all if Georgia covers this thing. So you can give me something to the effect of 28-3 or something like that. I don't think they're going to blow them out necessarily, but I think that Georgia wins and they're just going to impose their will on Kentucky. If it's tight because of the weather and because of the history and everything else, so be it. But I just can't see it, man. My football brain won't let me see it. I'm on Georgia.
I think Georgia beats them by 28. And I think Vandegrift just doesn't have a good day at all against Georgia. I think Beck goes out there, shows him why he's a starter, while Vandegrift transferred. He throws probably 3 or 4 touchdowns, and Georgia gets the big win in Kentucky.
All right. Well, we're not spending a lot of time on that one. Okay. New Mexico coming to the Plains to play Auburn. Auburn, who lost to California last week, is now taking on 0-2 New Mexico. New Mexico is like, they're 0-2, but they're not like, a dog water 0-2. They've lost, but they're not awful. They're not good, right? But they're not awful. But the thing about this Auburn team is, you've got your starting quarterback putting it on social media this week that Auburn fans are ticked off at him and want a refund because he's costing them money on bet lines. Like, he's posting that on blast, putting it out, saying these dudes want me to, give them money because I'm costing them bets. Like, the situation is not great at Auburn at quarterback right now. So I'm just saying, could Auburn, could they fall flat on their face? Remember, everybody's like, even Nick Saban, like, Auburn's going to be the most improved team in the league. And meanwhile, you got little old me sitting over here going, Auburn's going to be the most underachieving team in the league this year. And right now, I sound just about as smart as Nick Saban. That's all I'm telling you. So, we'll see how we end up here. I'm not convinced Auburn's going to beat New Mexico, Joe. I just, do you have thoughts? I would hate to think they're going to play that poorly again.
Let me just, this is a night game at Auburn. I'm going to give Auburn the win just only because it's at night. That's my only reason. That's the sole reason. I hope they can win because it's night at home.
I kind of feel like that myself. Like, they're going to come in there. Auburn's weird. You have a good atmosphere, hopefully. They still got an opportunity to save the season. I think the Auburn's going to win. They have them up as a 28-point favorite. There's no way I'm taking Auburn to win by 28. But I will say Auburn wins. So we're both on Auburn. I don't want to beat that horse anymore, but man, it is ugly over there at Auburn right now. Yeah. Ugly. Okay. Toledo, the Rockets coming into Stark Vegas to take on Mississippi State. Mississippi State, I told you they were going to go out west and be the first SEC team to lose in Tempe. I told you that was going to happen.
Way to go, Mississippi.
So there you go. But they're still throwing the ball all over the place. They're still out there having a good time. But even though Toledo's 2-0, I love me some action. I love the MAC. Give me Toledo, Northern Illinois, right? You bring like Western Michigan. Like, I'm all about the MAC, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Mississippi State just because they're at home. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about the Rockets?
I am. What was the movie that God, the comedian was in where he played football at Toledo? What was it? Robbins.
At Toledo?
Yeah, remember? What was his name? God.
I don't remember at Toledo. That's the part that got me. I was trying to run through the thing of all the football movies, and I'm like, wait, at Toledo? I think Nick Saban coached at Toledo.
No.
Or Bill Belichick? One of them did.
Our furry comedian friend that committed suicide. What was his name?
Robin Williams?
Yeah, Robin Williams. He played in a movie where it was not Toledo, but it was Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Like, he played in a movie, and
clearly I don't remember.
The game. They won the game, and I wish I could. Yeah,
I got nothing for you. I can't help you at all.
Somebody, come on. Where's Rob? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Pick the game.
It doesn't matter. Mississippi State. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to say Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. There we go. That's all right. Well, it's fine. All right. Kent State, the Flashes, out of the MAC, coming in to play Tennessee. Nico was average against NC State. Didn't matter because NC State's dog water. Trash. People telling me that they're going to compete in the ACC. I'm like, don't want to hear it. They look awful. And Tennessee beat them all kinds of different ways. And Nico just had to be average. But he's still a good player. He's still learning. They're going to put a big number on Kent State. Not even worried about it. They're probably going to get 50 plus. It's going to be what it's going to be. So Tennessee wins that one. Yeah?
Yep. Give me the big T.
All right. Let's jump back up here to the top real quick. Let's pick this one. This is our game of the week real quick here. Real quick, like LSU and South Carolina. Now, like I said, year 3 for Brian Kelly. Nussmeier is accurate. Wide receivers are dangerous. Don't know who's going to run the football. Still don't think they can play defense that great. Then you got South Carolina rolling in there, or I'm sorry, they're coming in to play at Williams-Brice. So you've got Williams-Brice, which is always a good atmosphere. That's a pretty long trip for LSU to have to come over here and make that journey. They're going to play this thing at high noon. So everybody's going to be looking, right? It's going to be hot in Columbia. I mean, 76 degrees. It's going to be a dry, hot. It's still going to be hot. So it's going to be, you can't be in Columbia and not be hot. So it's going to be hot in Columbia. And I don't know, man. Shane Beamer, if he beats LSU, that's a ranked team after whipping Kentucky the way they did. People are going to actually start to think he deserves to stick around. Coming into the season, he was on the hot seat. Everybody's like, what are you doing with, who are you? And now he's got a big win and a chance to get another big win. Do you believe in South Carolina, Joe? They've got some like top tier pass rushers on the edge. Okay. Make no mistake. Those dudes could line up and play for Georgia right now. They are playing at South Carolina. They can get after the quarterback. Okay. That's enough to make me think if they can make LSU one-dimensional, then they can get after them. South Carolina at home with Sandstorm and the white towels and the you know, I'm confused, Joe.
All right. Well, hey, hang on a second. Let me do this. I got to take my ear out here and get some inside information.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, boss.
All right, people, here we go. I'm just going to talk to you for a second. Wait a minute. I'm going to put this on the screen. Carol's chiming in here. She's letting us know.
Hart County.
She's letting us know what's going on right here.
No, that's Georgia, bro.
She's like, is it Best of Times? Is that the movie?
Okay,
He'll let us know when he gets back.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
What was the sticker? Again, what were we, 40?
Look at Joe doing some business here on the phone. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? We'll see. We'll see, Carol. We'll see if that's the game.
Okay. Cool beans. Thank you, boss. All right, bye. Had to talk to my bookie there. Had to talk to my bookie. Sorry about that.
Carol wants to know, is this the movie?
Best of times, worst of times.
No, is that the movie? The Toledo movie.
I don't remember if that's the Toledo movie. I don't remember, Carol. If I can remember. Dang it.
Well, thanks for trying, Carol.
Thanks, Carol. I appreciate it.
Somebody's trying to help out because I can't help a brother out right here. All right, Joe.
It's going to drive me nuts. I talked to my bookie. Look, all in. Can't tell you his name because you have to kneecap somebody. But I got to go South Carolina. I'm taking Beamer. I'm taking Beamer. I can't tell you the money that I just placed on that, but I'm taking Beamer.
LSU scares the crap out of me right here. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. I think they're one-dimensional, and if they let those South Carolina guys pin their ears back, it could get ugly for LSU on the road. Oh, if there were ever a game where you want to put a gun to my head and be like, just do it, this would be the one. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take LSU, even though I don't believe in it at all, really. I'm going to take LSU to go on the road and beat South Carolina, the upstart South Carolina team that's trying to upend the apple cart in the SEC this year. So there you go. There you go, Joe. We got through the SEC. Just a couple more. Y'all know we always pick at least a couple more here just to make sure we're covering college football the way y'all need it to be covered. So let's do this real quick. Oregon and Oregon State. This one is on the board tonight simply because Oregon has played two teams from the state of Idaho and escaped by the skin of their teeth twice. Like the Vandals took them to the wire, Boise State took them right down to the end, and they managed to win. They're 2-0, the worst 2-0 team in the country, quite possibly. Are they going to get it right, or are they? And it's in the snake pit that is Reser Stadium at Oregon State. This is the in-state border war. These two teams hate each other. Joe, who's winning?
I don't think there's any way Oregon State can win the ball game. I don't know.
Why are you disrespecting the Beavers like that?
I don't like their uniforms. They're terrible. They're the worst looking team in college football.
I swear. Or what are we, like 6?
They're horrible. It's ugly. Who likes orange and dark brown or black together?
Baby, it's October's terrible. Coming. It's fall colors. What are you doing?
I love October, but I hate Oregon State's uniform. It's pitiful.
Oh, okay.
Give me the electric green. Give me the O's.
You're going with Oregon. All right. Fine. I'm going to go with Oregon too. Same. I kind of feel about this one the way I feel about LSU. Like, it makes no sense that I'm saying I'm going to take Oregon. I'm going to take Oregon. I don't know that they get right. They might have to fight their way out of there, but I think they win. Oregon gets the W. All right, so let's take another look here. We only got one more that we need to pick, and it's a good one. It's a good one. The backyard brawl, West Virginia and Pittsburgh. I love this game. These two teams hate each other, and I love it. So,
you're right, Tennille.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let's throw that on the screen real quick. That's good stuff. I love some mascot love. Any opportunity we get from mascot, there it is right there. That's good stuff.
He's got teeth like this. He got big old teeth.
That's good stuff. All right. So West Virginia and Pittsburgh. I love it when West Virginia is good. I don't know, man. I can remember 1988. The cover of Sports Illustrated, Major Harris at West Virginia running the option veer offense, taking on Notre Dame and, taking them right to the wire in the national championship game. I've loved West Virginia ever since. And, man, I'm all over the Mountaineers. Give me the Mountaineers in the backyard brawl 7-8 days a week. It's all good. I am all about West Virginia. Who you got?
I'm taking West Virginia too. Yep.
All right.
Yep. West Virginia.
There you go. That seems like a good way to finish it up right here, man. We got through them all. We spent a lot of time, a little curves in the road, had some special guests we didn't know were coming on. But that's why people hang out.
Yeah, that's right. subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Never know who you're going to get on the line. Brought in some Dave Cohen this week. Never know. Next week could be, could be my boy Andrew Monica. Could be Chris Blair. You don't know.
This is the running. So she's done some research. Robin Williams is wearing the Rockets jersey. Like you can see it on their uniforms.
Yeah.
See, how do I not know this movie?
I don't know. It's a good movie.
I know.
You should go watch it.
I'm embarrassed actually, because I have a pretty good catalog. I'm pretty embarrassed about that actually. Thank you, Carol, for answering. So Joe can sleep tonight. He's got an answer finally on that right there. So again, thank y'all for hanging out with us, man. It's been a good time. It's always a good time. I think the dogs get to 3-0. That's the most important thing here. Y'all heard the picks. We'll see how we do. I hope you come back next week. Bring a friend. We're going to have a good time. We always do. And we just want y'all to have a good time with us. Joe, any final shots, parting shots before we get out of here?
No, but if y'all see me up at Georgia State, don't be surprised if I'm hanging out with Dave Cohen. I'll send you some photos. We'll drop those in next week if I'm there. Be fun. Yeah.
Nice. Tennille, thank you, brother. We see you over there. Carol, thank you so much. Herb and Raj.
Timothy.
Tim, welcome to the member as a member of the channel. Y'all check us out. Again, I appreciate that support. Just knowing that there are people out there who enjoy what we're doing, it really does. It makes this so much more fun. And I appreciate that. So thank you so much for being a part of our community. It means everything. Until we see you guys again next week. Oh, wait, I'm a sister. Sorry. Thank you.
I knew that, Sunil. I knew that. I don't know why Reagan
said
brother.
No, thank you for the clarification. Somehow I didn't know that. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Apologies. So even better, I love having ladies in the community. Can I just say that? Mrs. Beast is like invaluable to me. I love having ladies in the community. So thank you so much for being in here. Carol, same to you. Thank you very much. Y'all enjoy the games. Take care of yourselves. As always, go Dogs!